July 15, 1976. A seemingly ordinary summer afternoon in Chowchilla, California, a small, quiet farming community. 26 schoolchildren, aged 5 to 14, were on their way home, their laughter and chatter filling the yellow school bus. Behind the wheel was their beloved bus driver, Frank Edward Ray, a man known for his kindness and dedication. What began as a routine journey would soon descend into a nightmare. An event so audacious and terrifying that it would capture the attention of the entire nation and become one of the largest mass kidnappings in U.S. history. This is the story of the Chowchilla Kidnapping, a tale of unimaginable terror, remarkable resilience, and a daring escape from the depths of a buried prison. As the bus traveled along a secluded country road, its peaceful journey was abruptly interrupted. 3 masked men, armed with shotguns, emerged from a white van, blocking the road. They were Frederick Woods, the 24-year-old son of a wealthy quarry owner, and his 2 accomplices, brothers James and Richard Schoenfeld. Their motive was simple: money. They planned to hold the children and their driver for a $5 million ransom. The children, initially thinking it was a prank, soon realized the terrifying reality of their situation as the gunmen boarded the bus, forcing them into the vans. The kidnappers then drove the terrified children and their driver for hours, constantly changing vehicles to avoid detection. The journey was long and arduous, filled with uncertainty and fear. The children, despite their young age, showed incredible bravery, trying to comfort each other and remain quiet. Ed Ray, the bus driver, displayed immense courage and leadership, doing everything he could to protect his young passengers, even attempting to memorize details of their route and the kidnappers' voices. Their destination was a remote rock quarry in Livermore, California, over 100 miles away. There, the kidnappers had prepared a makeshift underground prison, a buried removal van, crudely ventilated and equipped with some food and water. The children and Ed Ray were forced to descend into this dark, claustrophobic tomb, sealed beneath a heavy metal lid. The air was thick with fear, and the reality of being buried alive began to sink in. It was a terrifying ordeal that would test the limits of human endurance. Inside the buried van, the conditions were suffocating. The air grew stale, and the psychological toll of their confinement began to weigh heavily. Yet, amidst the despair, a remarkable spirit of resilience emerged. Ed Ray, the bus driver, along with the older children, particularly 14-year-old Mike Marshall, began to formulate a plan. They noticed that the roof of the van was not entirely secure and that some of the wooden planks covering the entrance were loose. Despite the immense danger and the overwhelming odds, they decided to attempt an escape. Using sheer determination and whatever makeshift tools they could find, including a piece of plywood and a broken broom handle, they began to pry open the lid of their underground prison. It was an arduous and terrifying task. The earth above them was heavy, and the risk of collapse was constant. Ed Ray, with the help of the older boys, tirelessly pushed against the heavy cover, while the younger children worked to clear away the dirt and debris that fell back into the van. Their efforts were fueled by a desperate hope for freedom and the knowledge that their lives depended on it. After hours of relentless digging and pushing, they finally managed to create a small opening. One by one, they squeezed through the narrow gap, emerging into the cool night air. They had been trapped underground for over 16 hours. Exhausted but exhilarated, they made their way to a nearby guard shack, where they alerted the authorities. The news of their miraculous escape sent shockwaves across the nation, turning a potential tragedy into an inspiring tale of survival against all odds. The kidnappers, who had been sleeping while their victims made their escape, were soon identified and apprehended. Frederick Woods and the Schoenfeld brothers were convicted and sentenced to life in prison. The Chowchilla Kidnapping, however, left a lasting impact on its victims. The children, though physically unharmed, suffered from severe psychological trauma for years to come. Their experience became a landmark case in the study of childhood trauma, highlighting the long-term effects of such terrifying events and the importance of mental health support for young victims of crime. The Chowchilla Kidnapping remains a chilling reminder of the vulnerability of children and the dark depths of human greed. But it is also a powerful testament to the indomitable spirit of survival. The courage of Ed Ray, the resourcefulness of the older children, and the collective resilience of all 26 victims in the face of unimaginable terror serve as an enduring inspiration. Their story is a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope, courage, and the will to live can triumph over adversity.